Oh great, I'm live when I'm like wiping the spit from my mouth. Hey everybody, grecofabulous here. As you can see, I'm going to try something a little different. Everything I'm watching on YouTube on how to like build your subscriber base and make basically entice people to keep watching your videos says, hey, you know what? You gotta constantly put out videos. If people can depend on your content coming out, then they'll keep coming back. They'll be hungry for more, and then obviously, the hopefully the content is good enough that they'll want to keep coming back. Hey, huge fan here. Awesome. I'm getting comments. How did you people know? Are you just refreshing my page? How do you know? How does this live stuff happen? I don't know. Anyways, so as you can see, I'm live. I got my typical backdrop behind me. The basically what I want to do is I've been kind of messing around with the design of my I call it my man cave, but in reality, folks, I don't have the space for a cave just yet. I am not Bruce Wayne at the moment. So it's pretty much a man side of my bedroom. So if I were to flip the camera over, you would see where I sleep, my wife's side of the room, all that sort of stuff. Um, but this is pretty much what you're used to seeing, and this is the side of the room that I can kind of play with and have some flexibility. So I broke down my desk. I put up a new toy cube shelf thingy. So I pretty much wanted to show it to you, kind of a last minute uh, I don't know, just a quick little tour, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done. I'm curious to see your ideas as far as like what I can do to kind of maximize my space and really bring out the best in my collection so that I can show it to you guys. So anyways, we're live obviously. I'm alone. The kids are in bed, so at any moment this thing could be totally derailed by a crying child or a wife that comes home too early and wants to know what her husband is up to. But anyways, so I'm gonna flip the camera around and I'll start showing you what's behind me, and you can kind of give me your feedback and if you have any ideas as far as how to better display things. Like I said, this is definitely a work in progress. All right, here we go. So let me kind of back up a little bit. So a lot of this is gonna, like I said, look familiar to you guys. So this is what's going on. I got a little IKEA glass case right there. I think it's like the I don't know Detloff. It's a pretty popular case for toy collectors. So I've had that for a while now. What's in it is different. I mean, this I'll take a closer look, but this used to be stuffed with Transformers, like literally packed to the brim with Transformers. As you can see, there's still plenty of Transformers in there. Um, what I was hoping, and don't worry, I will go over all of this stuff in detail, but what I was hoping was that once I built this little cube container, which I literally bought the other day, this replaced my old computer desk that was there. My computer desk was like thicker. It kind of jutted out more, but it was pretty much just a table or a surface to put things on. There wasn't really any organization. So I was hoping with these cubes that I can kind of display things better. And I really thought that it would give a chance to not only see things better and have some more organization, but I thought that I didn't realize how many Transformers I had because what I was hoping is that I would fit Transformers in here, video game systems, and some other toy lines. But as you can see, it's all Transformers, and it carries over to the glass display case here, and that's not even everything. So I obviously have a huge problem with Transformers. But anyways, so I picked up this little, let's see, 4, 8, 12, if my math skills are good. That's a 12 kind of cubed storage unit. It ends up being about like 11 inches tall and just about as deep. But that doesn't get you too far. So originally what I was trying to do here is I started organizing them by like series. So like here are the original Generation One, uh, yeah, just like series one figures that came out. You know, Optimus and all the mini bots. Anyways, that's what I was going for originally. But as you can see, I started running out of space. I started just throwing all these random little figures in here. So it was going good for a while. There's a mix of like the rest of Series 1 Autobots and some Series 2 mixed in there. And then you switch over to the Decepticons. So you got Megatron, a couple of the Jets. So I tried to get creative on how to display them. Yeah, they got the Jets standing up just to make use of that the tallness of these boxes. A clear plastic spice rack could fit in each cubby. Yeah, actually, Silver Age Dave, I was looking into some of those like acrylic kind of tiered things to make it so that instead of having everything kind of like an even plane and then having a lot of that dead space, I did start today looking at some of those steps so that maybe you can kind of create some separation and have things kind of fill the space a little bit more and be more visible. So I think I'm definitely going to go that route. So I don't know if you own any that you really like, feel free to like link me to that. So here's some more. This is when I started to, my whole idea of how to kind of organize them by series kind of fell through just because once the figures started getting bigger, like Galvatron here, and you get to the combiners. Unfortunately, this new storage bin that I bought is only like I said, a little over 11 inches tall. So things like Omega Supreme and other figures like that got way too big for that. So my basically my plan was out the window. So I don't know how many of you guys are Transformers collectors or toy collectors in general, but if you have any thoughts on how to better put these together, like does it make sense to kind of put all the mini bots together regardless of when they were released and then kind of do it by size, or I don't know, I'm just open to your thoughts on how you would exactly organize them. So there's some more Decepticons. So like this basically half of the cubes are all Decepticons, and a lot of these figures I still have to show in some haul videos. So even though I might be throwing in some live videos here and there from now on just to kind of keep a consistent release video schedule, I am definitely still going to be doing my edited videos, so don't worry about that. I do enjoy doing those the most, obviously. It's just I don't always have the time to make them as frequently and as on a consistent basis as I would like. Hey, Fluffy Gamer, good to see you're still around. My channel, anyways. I know you've been putting out your own videos. So there's some stuff there, and if you're wondering why most of these are transformed in their vehicle or alt modes, part of my challenge here. Here, I'll give you some close-ups here. Part of my challenge in sharing a bedroom, Dinobots. Part of the challenge here is that being that this is a shared space, my bedroom, not only is it, my man cave on this side, but as you might have seen in some of my older videos, as we kind of venture to the right here, what's that punching bag doing here? Yep, so it's a man cave, bedroom, and a gym all in one. And obviously you're like, wait a minute, a punching bag next to all these toys is a recipe for disaster. And I have to tell you, it's one of the things that gives me the most anxiety in any aspect of my life, because when you start wailing on this thing, things, vibrations are created, things start to shake, and the last thing I want is this big tall drink of water tumbling down. Luckily I've been okay so far, but it is a little nerve-wracking. So that's kind of the reason why I have these guys in their alt modes, so they're not all standing up in case they were. Basically, they're less prone to fall, I think. So that's my new case right there. I like it because it doesn't take up as much depth. It's up against the wall, so it gives me more. When I start shooting my videos, I'm not so like cramped. I can, set up like this is pretty well lit because I have a light setup, which I haven't been doing more recently, and that's because now I have some more space. So basically, I'm trying to make this into a little studio as well. So up top here, you can see I got the Ghostbusters firehouse with Stay Puft. I mean, that's a big bastard, so I don't know what kind of display case I can even get to put him in there. To his right, got Johnny Five from Short Circuit, a very cool piece that I got from Hong Kong, remote controlled. This is a big Devastator. It's about, I think, 2 feet tall. I ended up getting that off of a Transformers Facebook group. I actually haven't shown you the video for that, so that's still to come. And then here we got some Ninja Turtle stuff. Whoop. Technodrome, which was in one of my old flea market videos. Ooh, message retracted from Stargirl. I wonder what it said. It's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to be. Don't worry. You don't need to censor yourself. We're all a family here. So yeah, we have the Technodrome, one of my best flea market deals. Got that thing almost 100% complete for like $45. Krang in the Android body, which you haven't seen in a video yet. Got that in a trade. And yeah, some other things that you're definitely getting a. Just got a text from the wife. She's having a drink and will be leaving soon. But whatever. I do what I want. So yeah, here's my glass case. I finally have a spot for that one comic that I really like, and I just showed off in one of my videos. And here's just, like I said, it's just a mishmash of things. There really is no. Oh, Murphinator, you love that annual? Let me give you a closer look. The glare is real on this. Amazing deal here. I think I showed it in my last video, so I don't gotta go into too much detail. Just click it and you'll figure out how I got it. But I only paid $40 for it. Definitely a holy grail of mine. Oh yeah, that's my side chick right there. I actually got her from when I treated Chris Rigo. Chris, this is all because of Chris. That's the man. Check him out on Instagram. So yeah, I got this little number here. I'm pointing, but you don't see my finger in this shot yet. Oh, there you go. Got that little number in San Francisco. I went to like a Japanese garden or something. So that's what I do when I go on work trips alone. So like I said, this is pretty much just a mishmash. I wanted to get things out of my closet and into the case. So we got Teddy Ruxpin here in the box. I got a bunch of Sailor Moon stuff, figures, the wand. There's a little like locket or something. That was actually a parking lot deal, which I haven't shown in a video yet. It was actually in advance of a toy show, and in the toy show I did really good too. I actually went there with Sprooch Game Hunter. If you guys watch him on YouTube, he's a local YouTuber. That was a really good haul that day, so I still owe you a video for that. Let's see. Like I said, I put a lot of my G1 combiners in there. Originally, I did have them in here, but I just figured I might as well put them all together. Hey! Here's some more of the bigger figures like Triptychon and Scorponok. There was no way. I think Triptychon barely fit in here, but like he was like scratching his head on the top, so I wanted to give him some more breathing room. Here are some of my Thundercats figures. I think most of these actually deserve a spot in one of my haul videos. And then down here, there's a mix of a bunch of things. There's the G1 Omega Supreme, a couple of the newer Combiner figures, and then a beat-up Megazord, which I got at that toy show that I haven't shown yet. So, again, not, like I said, I was just throwing things in here to get them out of the closet. Like, ideally, I want to make one of these like a Ghostbusters. In addition to this, I have, the wearable Proton Pack and a Trapper. So I think, like, I set it up before when I first got this display case, and it looked really, really good. Do you have weapons for your Thundercats? No, actually, I don't. This is so far. I've only found these loose figures. I mean, Lionel has his like red glove thing, but that's it. Everybody else is they got nothing. Uh, Although that being said, I am currently talking to a guy on Craigslist who has Mumra in mummy form with his weapon, so I'm probably gonna snatch that up. I'll end up having two Mumras. I don't know if you noticed this, but I got the Titans Return Triptychon down there, so he's kind of just filling up the space right there. I stuffed a Titans Return Fortress Maximus in the corner. He's kind of like he's in timeout right now, basically. And then if you move over here, just a few random things. I got a Pee-wee's Playhouse playset with a bunch of figures. This is something that I haven't shown in my videos yet. It's actually the next video that I plan on doing. That's going to be, you know, edited and produced. This is a Craigslist deal, really good one too. If you're fans, you know that it's not, you know, complete by any means, but it's pretty slim pickings when it comes to Pee-wee, at least for me around here. So that was a nice surprise to get right there. This Tiger 2XL robot I picked up at Savers recently for like, it was, I remember it was like New Year's Eve. They were trying to close up shop, and I go in there, I find it, and it doesn't have a price tag. So I'm like, how much is this? And they're like, you know, she made up a price. She's like $4.99. And then I was like, oh, but, you know, it's missing the battery cover. So like, could you knock it down a little bit? And she's like, fine, $3.99. We just want to go home. So I'm the guy on New Year's Eve holding everyone hostage to get $1 off at a thrift store. Yeah, Savers can be a good place to hunt, but the one near me has problems with you know, pretending that they're not a thrift store sometimes, and they're, you know, they price things like crazy. They have like a Stephen King book on there for some reason that's like $250, and I have no idea why. I'm assuming it's autographed, but it's not like advertised. And that blows eBay prices out of the water. So anyways, in addition to like the toy stuff, you can see I also start hanging up my some artwork and some video game marquees. So, you know, this is like some commissions that I've been getting at Comic-Cons. This one right here is by Mike Norton. He was the artist on Revival. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that comic, but basically it's, you know, one day all the people that died in a town kind of come back to life, and there's all these not a zombie situation, they're like alive, but there's these spirit creatures. So I had him draw a spirit creature getting caught by a Ghostbuster there. So that was a cool, quick little commission he did. This one was by Chrissy Zullo. It was for those of you who watch Netflix, this is 11 from Stranger Things. This is like around the time of the first season. I was asking around on like message boards and stuff, like who can do like a really cool 11, and I saw one that I really liked. So she did a really good job. Like, this is Copic marker. I'm not an artist, so I mean I don't know much about it, but I kind of left it up to her to do her interpretation. I was hoping for a more like badass 11, but I'll take the kind of like the soft, vulnerable side too. So really like, no, I got, this one was at Boston, I think like a couple years ago, 2016 actually. She said it right there. Do you still have your Ed 209? Yes, I do. I have two of them. I have the original from, you know, the Kenner toy line, I think, in the box, and then I also have the NECA one. So again, those are two things that definitely deserve a spot in my room, but as of yet, I don't have a place for it. I think those are both in storage, actually. Do I collect WWF? I do not. I mean, I was a wrestling fan back in the day, you know, Hulk Hogan era, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, like those days I would watch. I kind of lost interest along the way. So I don't collect the figures. I do have some that I picked up in a lot. I remember when you got one of them in your video. Where do you keep all your modern Transformers? So I've actually been lightening my load when it comes to modern Transformers. I'm really into like the new lines. Like I said, the Titans Returns, the Combiner ones. Those are really cool. Um, there's another one right there. Who else? Oh, I just started buying the new Power. Can I start again? Go back to Hawaii. Um, the new Power of the Primes line I really like, and I've been buying those. I don't know if you guys know this, but I have an Instagram where I post a lot more frequently. So if you want like more up to date things on what I kind of get without waiting for a video to come out, that's probably where you should follow me. In addition to this, obviously. Let's see. I do remember Visionaries and Mask, although I was not really into those toys. Uh, so yeah, I do have, like I said, I have a lot of stuff that I just don't have a spot for yet. Like I have Transformers statues, I have Space Ghost Coast to Coast toys. Like I would love to put a little. I have this whole like talk show desk set up here with Zorak and Moltar, and I would love to kind of set those up. Does your Fort Max make noise? It does if it had the batteries in it, which I do not. I took the batteries out just so they wouldn't corrode over time. So just going back to my wall of art here, this is a Neal Adams Batman. This was like pre-made. He charges a lot. I say a lot like relatively. Like this is about like an 8.5 by 11. Like I said, pre-done sketch. Like this is the sketch part. I did not buy it in San Diego. He just had those left over in Boston. But my uncle actually bought this for me, which is really surprising because it cost $150. For me, like I said, that's a lot. Obviously, Neal Adams is a living legend when it comes to comic book art. But so I'm like, eternally grateful that my uncle bought this for me. But I don't think I would have ever paid for it myself. Now this I would spend $150 on all day, every day, and I totally did. But this is like something that's near and dear to me. This is Milk and Cheese by Evan Dorkin. Fully colored in, fully drawn, everything. I felt bad. I actually haggled with him at Boston Comic Con. It was originally $175, so I pulled the whole like, oh, is there any, like, I hate myself for asking, but is there any way you would sell it for less? And he did, which is awesome. But meeting him was a huge thrill. Kind of a lesser known artist, compared to like a Neal Adams, but I definitely like gobbled up all this stuff growing up. This was a really cool piece. This you might recognize Guyver, the anime. I had Agnes Garbowska, who's known as like a My Little Pony artist, draw this one. And it's cool. Like I love coming up with unique ideas that are I don't want to think like I'm some creative genius, but things that I care about. But give it like Agnes had no idea who the Guyver was, so I love when you throw something new at an artist because I feel like instead of having them draw the same thing over and over again, that they can try something new, flex their creative muscles. So if you have if you see an artist style that you think will translate well to a piece, you should I think take a shot and give them a chance to do it. And I think she did a really cool watercolor picture right there. Going back to this is, it may not be noticeable for most of you, but this is a mashup between Groucho Marx and Pollo from the Chew comic. Pollo is this cybernetic fighting rooster from Chew. Chew's like a crazy out there book. It's over now, so I would suggest you pick it up if you want to check it out. But I met the artist Rob Gilroy at Comic Con, and I had this Boston Comic Con. I had this set up ahead of time, so I pretty much said I want Pollo, but I want it in like a comedic way. Maybe I came up with maybe he'll throw like a fake nose and glasses on him, and he came up with Groucho Marx. So again, I don't want to give the artist too much direction. I want to leave it up in their wheelhouse, and they usually deliver. There's not hardly any that I've ever been disappointed with. And there's more here, but this one's kind of like a mirror. So I obviously got some arcade marquees. This is Sega's Virtual Fighter. Whoa, stay up. This is Burger Time, and hidden behind this glass display case is Pac-Man. These are all originals. These were from a big Craigslist find that I got. I met up with a guy who used to work for like Atari as a salesman, and he used to sell a lot of replacement parts like for arcades. So he had a huge stockpile of marquees. So I kept a few for myself, and I ended up kind of selling the rest. And it actually worked out to be a really lucrative deal. In fact, it was like a couple of years ago at this point, and I still have stuff left over because there was just so much. Unfortunately, hidden behind this case is a Ghostbusters print. This is an Omega Supreme sketch by Don Canna. He's a Transformers artist. Really good G1 style, so I was happy with him. I got that at Motor City Comic Con for like $20. This is V from V for Vendetta by David Lloyd. He was at Boston Comic Con one year. Did quick crayon sketches. This is really cheap. He did like, I don't know. It wasn't even like a purchase. It was like $10. Did you miss the comic books? Yeah, it's over here. That's literally the only comic I have semi-displayed at the moment. Most of it isn't in my collection right now. Wait, that doesn't make sense. It is in my collection. It's just not accessible at the moment. I feel like I need to kind of give a warning with this one. Not safe for work. But this is by cleverly hidden behind the Ghostbusters firehouse. This is the Squid from Watchmen. Hey, comic lover. This is the Squid from Watchmen. I had Dave Gibbons do a sketch of this. He was at Motor City Comic Con in Michigan. And, everybody, again, one of those things that I wanted to be unique. Everybody was asking, of course, for like Rorschach or Dr. Manhattan, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hey, what do you think about doing the Squid? And, it actually led to one of the best encounters I had at a Comic-Con, just because he was like literally like shuddering as he was drawing it, because he's like, this is just so grotesque. And like he actually said, the design was supposed to be like sexual in nature, if you can't tell. So it actually led to a really great interaction. It is on my channel, so you should check that out, because it was pretty hilarious. I'm just gonna put my phone down quick for 1 second, because I am getting like a low battery message. So I just want to plug this guy in before we go black here, before we go dark. La 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 la. Connect the dots. La la la. Do, do, do. Collect the dots. La 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 la. Yeah, buddy. Even on the live show, I'm prepared. I mean, I don't know how much slack I have, but I am plugged in right now. And then over here, this was... Oh, good. Now I can really show the good stuff now that Adrian's here. This was one of those spray paint artists. Basically he's like, oh, tell me whatever you want, and I'll draw it in like 3 minutes just by like doing some crazy hand motions and putting bowls and stuff down with some spray paint. So, I mean, Devastator's a little bit... Get out of the way. Ugh. So I asked him to do... Well, first I asked him about, like, can you really do anything? Because I saw he had a lot of stencils and stuff. And I've been dying to try to get, like, a Phantasy Star 2 commission. For those of you who don't know, which is probably all of you, that was a game back on the Genesis. It was an RPG. So I had some ideas where I wanted to get, like, Dark Force or Mother Brain or any of those people. And he was one of those things where he's like, oh, yeah, I could do it. I just need a little more, like, time to prep. So... not meaning like there at this mini convention that was at a mall that I went to at the last minute, but so basically he just couldn't do it then and there. So I was like, all right, what else do you got? And he was like, oh, we can do like a Transformers thing. I was like, I'm an 80s kid, what can you do? And I realized I didn't really have any Ninja Turtles stuff, and I told him that Raphael was my favorite, so he kind of did this like silhouette of Raphael, that's supposed to be like the kind of skyline right there, so he's on a rooftop. So it was actually pretty cool. I thought it was cooler to see the process than the end product. I mean, I am happy with the end product, but it was, yeah, the whole just being there for the process was pretty awesome. Devastator looks a little wobbly now. I'm gonna let's just put you down until I have time to fix you. All right. Robot's cool. Because I'm plugged in now, I can't like go down there, but That's like a fan-made fan. I don't have fans. I'm just a regular person. God, I sound so conceited. See, it's not even an act. This is me live, and I'm still just as, full of myself as ever. I think I'll make an island of abused toys because I'm always too cheap to buy good condition. Hey, so am I. I mean, I'd rather, I'm definitely not an elitist or a snob when it comes to toy condition. I go for the deals. And then, if you keep hunting long enough, you'll definitely get the opportunity to upgrade when the price is right. I mean, I remember having this conversation with Retro Toy Pile. Like, yeah, we both could be done, with our collections by, just splurging on eBay if we really wanted to, we just gobble everything up. But what's the fun in that? It's the fun's in the hunt and, like I said, piecing things together, at least for me and him. So I totally agree with that. Anyone else? Quick search Craigslist after Greco said Craigslist. If you are in my area, you stay the hell away from Craigslist, okay? That's my turf. I don't need any more competition. So that's by an artist called Sean Riaz. I found him on YouTube. He was part of the whole YouTube comic book community. I actually got some commissions from him, and that was the envelope that he put the commissions in. So he did a little nice picture of me, and obviously I'm so vain that I gotta hang it up. I'll venture over there a little bit when I get some more juice in my phone, but that's a Triptychon sketch by Dan Canna again. That's a Ghostbusters print. It's like a mixture of like letters that make the form of Egon that says "Don't cross the streams," and then at the very end is a kind of kitty style Ed 2 and I and RoboCop by Sean Riaz again. That's really cool. So I'll show that when I can. So I mean, that's I know I didn't go over every single figure that I have here, so that's a majority of like my side of the room. So I guess I'm open to ideas here. I know, like one of you said, maybe get some tiered shelves here so that the things can be on layers. Again, the trouble is that these boxes I think are like 11 inches wide, so they're not the biggest. So I got to find something that fits there and makes sense. So that might help with some of the smaller figures. So again, fill up some of this dead space, so they're not just all flat there. And what else? So this is like my dresser, my clothes dresser, where I have clothes in there. This doesn't sound kind of sad, but I am totally willing to just nuke this thing and just find somewhere else to put all my clothing. Like, I don't know, there's a closet. Maybe I can put some kind of closet organizer in there. So let's say I get rid of this dresser here. What do you think's a good idea that I could use to display more figures? Like, should I get another one or a couple more of those kind of like IKEA glass cases? I do like the look of them. The only thing is they'll probably block those paintings. Okay, so Retro, you're on board with the Dead Toffs. I don't know. I don't speak IKEA. Okay. I mean I love the look of those cases. Don't get me wrong. I just don't want to block my beautiful face. Just look at it. I think I'm just gonna hold the camera here for the next hour. Can I zoom in? No, I can't. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Oh, I'm a beautiful man. Yeah. So, sorry, I got lost in my own eyes. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely want to get rid of this. D-Toff. Thank you for the pronunciation guide. So I do want to get rid of this. I'll find somewhere else to put my clothes, or I'll just wear the same thing every day. I don't care. Because, yeah, I mean, like I said, there's, other than, so in addition to what I have out here, I still have, I have Transformer statues, I have the Space Ghost stuff, I have the limited RoboCop stuff that deserves some spot. I have a bunch of, Pacific Rim figures. I'm going to be buying more Transformer stuff, hopefully, this weekend. I'm meeting a guy who's selling his collection. I don't know if I'll be able to make a play on the entire thing, but that would be cool. Randomly, I'm talking to a guy who has some Captain Power stuff. I I don't own any at the moment, but I do remember as a kid having like the interactive VHS set where you like use the figures and it like registers the light blasts on from like the VHS tapes, and then would like trigger like sound effects and lights on the Captain Power stuff. So I definitely, I don't know. Part of me wants to grab some of them, and I think I don't know what the demand is for Captain Power stuff, especially locally. But I think we kind of have the framework of a deal in place. Although I'm running out of money, so that's kind of hard. Any He-Man? He-Man is not something I was really into actually back in the day. I do have a couple He-Man figures that I got in a lot, but I'm probably looking to sell or trade those. One of them is like the He-Man that you can put like the caps in his back, and I guess they just not sure what the point of it is, but they go off for some reason. So I guess I missed the episode where He-Man's back exploded randomly. But I bet it was a good one. There you go, Thunder Punch He-Man. Retro, I'm telling you, man, you gotta come to YouTube. You'd make a killing because you actually know things. And then I forget what other He-Man thing I have. Some guy. His clothes are blackish, silvery too. I think he has an eye patch. Yeah, I have that guy. So, and that it kind of gets dark around here. I wonder if I should put some kind of lighting or something. Here's where I'm getting my power, by the way, in case you were wondering. So, like I said, I'm sorry if I'm a little bit of a one-trick pony. You know, obviously, like Transformers is my thing, but there is some, you know, there's plenty of variety here. You know, who else has a Johnny Five? Huh? Who? This guy. Nobody else. And I said there's, you know, plenty of Ghostbusters stuff. Oh, I have the Ghostbusters, like, Ghostbusters in storage that I need to kind of free up. I don't know if you could see it, but I have... It'd be awesome if I broke that on live TV. Got my Ecto one in there. It is complete. I mean, I don't count stickers, but, you know, the pieces are all in there. Like I said, I have the wearable Proton Pack and Ghost Trapper. I have like my Mega Man replica helmet. Like, how awesome would it look to have like the helmet and the, you know, the Mega Buster in there? And that's the thing. Like, I could stuff all of these in there, but I just want to give them room to breathe and kind of have their day in the sun. Like, this isn't acceptable. Like, I mean, it doesn't make sense. And things are hidden. Oh, I don't know. These are all signed by the voice actors, by the way. I don't know if you caught that. I think that was Rhode Island Comic Con from a couple years ago. A little lunchbox. My Japanese girlfriend. Fake Sailor Moon. Hey, you remember that. These ones should be real. If not, I made a really, really bad trade, which like I said, I'll get to in a later video. But I do have that knockoff one from the flea market still in storage at the moment. Oh, there you can kind of see that Ghostbusters print. Or my reflection, whatever works for you. Here's an armless April O'Neil. Caught her stealing. So, nip that in the butt. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I kind of wanted to do just a quick video just to, like I said, keep content flowing on this channel and kind of show you what I've been working on my side of the room. Like I said, I'm definitely open to ideas as far as how to maximize the space I have. If you need my, you know, some measurements and whatnot, I can give you some of that too. Or if you have any ideas on how to kind of work with what I got, I'd definitely be up to them. I do know they made a newer Teddy Ruxpin. I don't like it. I think it's made by the same company that made the new Cabbage Patch dolls, and I get it. Like the LCD eyes are kind of cool, but it just you can't beat like original animatronics. Like that stuff is just super cool to me, and it doesn't seem like the new Teddy Ruxpin's doing well because I don't see anybody buying them. I see people on like, I think a couple people gobbled them up trying to like thinking it would be a hot Christmas item, and now I see them on Facebook like for $40 when they retailed for like $100. These are like brand new. But Teddy Ruxpin's a sore spot for me because At this point I should have a lot more. Like I should, like, damn it, I should have his pal Grubby, because I've been chasing that bastard for so long, and there's been so many Craigslist ads locally, and they want so much money because they look on eBay, and like surprisingly on eBay, like these things actually go for a lot of money, and like I say, comparatively a lot of money, and it's annoying because yes, if they went through the trouble of selling it on eBay, they could get more money, but locally, like I'm pretty much the only guy asking for Grubby, so it was annoying because there was like this one lot on there that had Teddy Ruxpin, Grubby, the Cords, They Can Talk, a bunch of like tapes and clothes and all that stuff. And they started off like, at $150, and I was like, hey, I'll give you like 60. And of course, at first they're like, oh no, can't do that, go pound sand. And like I just saw that rot on Craigslist for months, like literally months and months and months. And at one point they came back to me and they were like, would you do 100? And I was like, no, like 60 is my price. And then finally they went down to 60. Like they didn't come back to me. They just listed it and they ended up selling it to somebody else. So, and this has happened multiple times. Like I literally had another lot down the street where they were like asking $100 for it. And I was like, and they didn't even know if it worked. Like all this stuff. I'm like, dude, if people just listen to me, I'm not trying to cheat everybody. Like only some people, but otherwise I try to be like a decent human being and make things work out for everybody. Like these things literally mean nothing to nobody except me. I'm still here, don't worry, I just ran out of things to talk about. Anyways, that's my Teddy Ruxpin rant. I think that's gonna go viral. What else? I don't know, do you guys have any questions? I guess I can kind of, let's see, how do I look at the chat? I just custom rebuilt my comic room. A few pieces might work for you, Greco. Oh, that's cool. Do you make videos, or do you have anywhere like on Instagram to show me? Because that would be kind of neat. Blah blah blah. TMNT Ghostbusters crossover. If you're interested, look it up. Oh yeah. That's that IDW stuff, right? They kind of cross all those worlds together. I feel so out of place here. Who doesn't have a hobby? What do you do? Oh, are you one of my leftover comic book people? Sorry, I feel like I've neglected you guys so much. But hey, you must have been surprised when I got that one, right? There are some comics I really must have, but that's definitely, it's one of those things where I'm not going to throw crazy money at, like, key books. So you might not see them come up too often. And I'm not reading any series at the moment. I even stopped like Walking Dead and all that stuff. Let's see what else. See if I missed any cool comments. Blah blah blah. Been doing pretty good here. You guys talking to each other. Craigslist. Monster Pit. Maybe a Monster Pit like in the movie Toys. Oh, I haven't seen that one in forever. All right, I feel like I'm dragging on here, but anyways, I think I'm probably going to cut it soon. Maybe I'll do a quick one on Instagram. No, I can't. That's too much. Anyways, guys, thanks for bearing with me through this. I know I'm not as fun live as I am. I know my ferrets are in their crate, which is in the kitchen, because we like to violate health codes plenty. Yeah, it's not happening. Okay, just go replay that video if you want to see them, and just click the ads while you're at it. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Like I said, if you have any ideas on how I can kind of maximize my space here or redesign things, like I said, at one point I was just stuffing things in that kind of glass case, so there's no super rhyme or reason. But I definitely want to do the best I can, and I'm pretty happy with how this actually looks. It's very colorful and visual and a good backdrop for my videos and such. So anyways, thanks again for watching. Hopefully the next video you see will be one of my Craigslist deals. I am going to kind of switch things up a little bit. I know in a lot of my videos I'm kind of like I'm just like, oh, here's what I got, and I show the toys for like a second. I'm starting to feel like I focus too much on like what I paid for things as opposed to what the things are, and I feel like that's kind of like perverting how I feel about, or what drew me to collecting or wanting to recapture all this stuff from my childhood, because as kids we didn't care how much things cost, and as an adult collector I don't want to be just the guy that's like just all about the money and hoarding. Like that's why I'm kind of doing all this, because I want to display it and I want to appreciate it, and not just basically I want to be a kid again. Like, so in my videos I will keep showing the cost, don't worry. I like to be transparent with that. I know some people are weird about money, but I don't feel like I'm the type of collector to overspend, so I have no problem showing you what I paid for things. So I would definitely continue to do that. But I think I want to have more fun in terms of like actually like interacting with my toys, instead of just being like, here's Splinter, there's Foot Soldier, there's Leonardo, paid $40. Like I want to actually like maybe do some skits, kind of like basically be a kid again and just kind of play around with them too. So we'll see how that works out, and that also means that I'm gonna showcase more toys and kind of focus on individual kind of deals, as opposed to like a splattering of just vomiting every single thing I got, except for the flea market. It makes sense to kind of show everything that I got all at once. Anyways, I'll do one more pan of things. Goodwill Hunter, he buys a lot of cool things. Check him out on Instagram, and now he's back on YouTube. Ever been to the Toy Vault? Yes, I have been to the Toy Vault. The one in the Massachusetts one is closer to me than the Providence one. I mean, I like it. They have a lot of cool stuff, but they're definitely like a retail store, so I don't go in there with like high hopes. Actually, pretty sure I got my Galvatron from them. That was a birthday gift. Yeah, Galvatron definitely needs some lighting under here. It's kind of a silhouette. Yeah, I got, like, for example, so I bought just the body of Galvatron for $25 back then, without a promise if the electronics worked. Thankfully they did. I actually took him apart to kind of get him going, and then I found this gun in a random lot. So still missing his cannon, just like all of them that I seem to find. But anyways, I did promise I would kind of go back down here for a second. So there's me again. There's a Triptychon pencil sketch. There's my Ghostbusters Egon Don't Cross the Streams print. I was actually super depressed when Harold Ramis died. And then lastly, there's that kind of cartoony colored pencil RoboCop and 209 sketch by Sean Riaz. Like I said, he was just not a local guy, but kind of like an indie artist from the YouTube comic book community. So I think I like his take on it. It's cutesy, it's simple, but it's really awesome. So anyways, that's gonna be it for my show. Haha.